We shall continue with the Phi-bar F chart method for the sake of continuity and also to reinforce certain concepts. I am prepared to have a little bit of repetition, so that this is an important method as well as an important concept. First, we defined monthly average, daily utilizability, phi bar. This is the solar radiation falling on the collector in a month above a certain critical level. So, this symbolically we have written it as phi bar is summation over the days, over the hours, and I t is the solar radiation falling on the collector surface, and I c is the critical radiation level times n into h t bar, which is the monthly average daily radiation on the tilted surface multiplied by the number of days in the month. And the critical radiation level corresponding to an inlet temperature of T I is defined as F r u L times T I minus T A bar as applicable for the month upon F r tau alpha bar. And you should remember, here is a hidden delta t, which will indicate the time scale for which this is calculated. So, you have in terms of the minimum temperature above which energy delivery is desired, the same thing can be rewritten as F r u L T minimum minus T A bar by F r tau alpha bar, where T A bar is the monthly average daily ambient temperature, U L is the overall heat loss coefficient, tau alpha bar is the monthly average transmittance absorptance product, and F r is the collector heat removal factor. So, I have again here emphasized do not forget time delta t, otherwise this will be in watts and this will be in non-dimensional form. Okay. So, we have already stated that Klein correlated phi bar as a function of three constants A, B, C and a geometric factor R n by R bar and a non-dimensional critical radiation level x c bar. For south facing flat plate collectors. So, these three constants which are related to the monthly clearness index k T bar. So, you can rewrite this in a long form phi bar, which I think this equation can be seen on the screen. However, I shall write it down here over hours, over days, R t into h minus R d into h d times R b plus R d h d 1 plus cos beta by 2, then plus rho g r t into h into 1 minus cos beta by 2. Then we have got curly brackets minus critical level I c, then the square bracket with the superscript plus upon over hours. I shall explain each term, then it becomes very easy for you to remember the basis on which we have written this. Times R b plus R d h d times 1 plus cos beta by 2 plus rho g r t into h times 1 minus cos beta by 2 curly bracket closed. So, this R t into h is nothing but I, R d into h d is nothing but I d. So, this makes it I minus I d, which is nothing but my I b, the direct radiation, that multiplied by the tilt factor, and R d into h d is again nothing but I d times 1 plus cos beta by 2. R t into h is I multiplied by rho, the ground reflectance will give me the ground reflected component multiplied by the corresponding view factor 1 minus cos beta by 2 minus I c. Superscript plus indicates only the positive part is to be taken. Whenever this quantity is negative, it shall be reckoned as 0. The denominator is nothing but the total solar radiation falling on the collector surface over the month, which we calculate each hour. So, in other words, you can generate the monthly average daily utilizability using R t and R d correlations at number of latitudes beta and delta, even if you put gamma equal to 0. Okay. So, this will give you a control over phi and of course, different k t bars. So, you can do that and hence develop a correlation. Of course, this R t and H and R d and H d will bring in certain difference between the data values for a corresponding location and the actual the way the numbers that are obtained from this calculation. However, we are making some sort of a error in both the numerator and the denominator, and hence the overall error may not be much A, and further it will show the clear functional dependence on phi, beta and delta k t bar instead of scatter if you use only the data. This is not to say that it does not have to be verified against data, it needs to be verified against data. However, this is one way of generating in a controlled fashion for all the variables that will be looking for, namely phi, beta, delta and k t bar. So, the Klein's correlation has the form exponential A plus B r n by r bar times x c bar plus c x c bar square. So, this is the non-dimensional critical level, x c bar is the non-dimensional critical level, and A, B and C are constants, and which are expressed in terms of A, B and C are functions of monthly average daily clearness index k t bar. This x c bar is defined as critical level by I t noon time on the average day of the month, which shall be equal to f r u l into T I minus T A bar by f r tau alpha bar by RT n Rn Kt bar H0 bar. Okay, you can see that this is nothing but the noontime radiation. Kt bar into H0 bar is going to give you H bar, that multiplied by RT at the noontime will be I at the noontime multiplied by the corresponding tilt factor for the orientation of the collector that is considered. So, it is customary to sometimes call Xc bar as Xc bar minimum if IC corresponds to IC minimum corresponding to T minimum, the temperature above which energy delivery is desired. Analogously, you can write Xc bar minimum IC min by IT bar noon equal to FR UL T min minus TA bar by FR tau alpha bar by RTN RN KT bar H0 bar. I suppose you remember these symbols that we have discussed n number of times in the previous classes. And KT bar is the monthly average clearness index, H0 bar is the monthly average daily extraterrestrial radiation, and R is the tilt factor, and RT is I by H, the Kollaris-Pereira-Robles form of expressing the hourly radiation as a ratio with respect to the daily radiation H bar. Now, to be complete Rn, once again we will use RT and Rn correlations, 1 minus Rdn upon Ht upon Rtn into H, Rb at the noon time plus Rd noon by Hd by Rtn H times 1 plus cos beta by 2 plus rho into 1 minus cos beta by 2. This you may call it rho g. So, once again this is nothing but 1 minus I d by I, this is I d by I is absorbed in Rn because we equate Rn into In is equal to this much and brought divided throughout. This is the noontime tilt factor for the direct radiation Rb at noon. And here I also emphasized that Hd by H is calculated as daily clearness index with Kt numerically equal to Kt bar. For a number of reasons that this is supposed to have worked better, consequently this has been adopted. And the constants A is 2.943 minus 9.271 Kt bar plus 4.031 Kt bar square, and B is minus 4.345 plus 8.853 Kt bar minus 3.062 Kt bar square, and C is minus 170 minus 0.306 Kt bar plus 2.936 Kt bar square. We shall work out a problem towards the end of these lectures, maybe the next one, and then you will understand the orders of magnitudes of the constants A, B and C. And so, now we have got a phi bar function of essentially Kt bar, which will decide these constants A, B and C, and instead of phi beta and delta, you have got an R n by R bar and the non-dimensional critical level x c bar. So, this is some sort of a fortuitous simplification. All phi beta delta is combined into one single factor R n by R bar. So, this has got, as I said, that it is valid only for flat plate collectors south facing and constant critical level. There were attempts by Collares Pereira Raubal to include concentrating collectors and non-south facing surfaces. However, that is restricted to when the monthly average utilizability, he calls it a phi, slightly different definition, Collares Pereira and Raubal. This is valid for phi greater than 0.4 only. In other words, at low utilizabilities, the correlation does not work well. So, the argument sometimes given is that solar collectors are likely to be efficient, economically viable only if the utilizability is high. So, a method to evaluate utilizability when it is higher is acceptable. Finally, the work at IIT Kharagpur proposed an equivalent mean day method. This is available in a journal paper which I have given the reference, and this is methodology, in fact, the working also not restricted FPC only and not restricted gamma is equal to 0. Okay, so, the collector's orientation can be general and it can accommodate the concentrating collectors also, and it is a we may call it analytical or depends upon purists. The expressions for the utilizability on the equivalent mean day, which I will call it phi MD, have been obtained using RT and RD correlations. I shall elaborate this a little later. Before that, I would also like to point out variable critical level. So, if the critical level varies every day, there is no simpler way of calculating except calculating each day. But if you look at from the metallurgical data point of view, your IC may vary from IC 1 to IC 2, where IC 1 is less than IC 2 and IC 1 may be on KT lowest and IC 2 may be KT highest day. In other words, broadly you may say that because of the solar radiation being higher or lower or ambient temperature correspondingly being higher or lower, I can have two scenarios of variable critical level varying minimum value to maximum value along with the change monotonically with the clearness indices distribution for that particular month, or that is I C 1 increasing to I C 2 as K T 1 increases to K T 2 over 30 or 31 days. The other extreme scenario is I C 1 increasing to I C 2 as K T 1 decreases to K T 2. So, in other words, the highest critical level occurs at the lowest clearness index and the lowest critical level occurs with the highest clearness index. So, if we can calculate, so this will lead to some phi 1 and phi 2 or phi bar 1 and phi bar 2. So, these are upper and lower bounds if the critical level varies from I C 1 to I C 2. I do not make any attempt to how to take care of if I C 1 and I C 2 is varying, but nevertheless an upper monthly average daily utilizability and a lower monthly average daily utilizability can be obtained if we know that the critical level is varying from some low value I C 1 to I C 2. It may or may not necessarily occur at the highest critical level, highest clearness index or lower critical clearness index, but if it does, I can produce two numbers and then these two numbers actual utilizability will fall somewhere in between. This has been verified and this can be easily verified by taking n number of distributions of the this critical level of radiation varying from let us say 200 watts per meter square C 200 watts per meter square to 400 watts per meter square, right, any random choice and uniformly weighing with the clearness index or decreasing or increasing as clearness index increases, then you will have three numbers and that random any random choice will lie in between the two extremes that as I have mentioned. So, coming back to equivalent mean day way, by the way, can accommodate this method because basically you make only one day in calculation. What we try to do is if I C is the critical level, there is a day with K T min in the 30 days of the month when solar radiation maximum in the day falling on the collector is equal to I C. So, this maximum can be at noon time. In other words, if I have got K T 1 to K T 30 for the 30 days, whose distribution according to Liu and Jordan curves cumulative frequency versus K T for a given K T bar equal to say 0.6, this is approximately 1. This is my kT minimum. So, all this much fractional time I t always less than I c. In this fractional time or the number of days, if this is 1 is the cumulative frequency, or it can be considered as 0th day and 31st day. Okay. So, in these NC days, on all I t is greater than I c for some time during the day. So, in identifying kT minimum, I set the maximum radiation instead of the noontime radiation, because it can take care of in principle a non south facing surface as well as concentrating collectors. Concentrating collectors, by the way, most of the time it is symmetric and the maximum occurs at the solar noon time only, except in the third mode of tracking, where the radiation at noon time may be lower than at some other time, because of that becoming almost a horizontal aperture at the noon time. So, we identify this kT min. Then for the NC days, find the average clearness index. Which I will call it kT bar star. So, kT bar star equal to 1 upon the number of days above which the clearness index is below kT, above kT minimum. All the days 1 to n is kT min plus kT minus kT minimum superscript plus whole thing. This is only a clumsy way of mathematically putting it, and just find out the clearness indices of the days with kT greater than kT minimum and take the average. So, that if this is negative, it will be 0, only kT minimum will be there. If this is positive, that will be contributed to kT minimum, that is the ordinate above the kT minimum value, that is all, nothing else. So, the phi EMD, the utilizability for the equivalent mean day one can express, because it is a single day, I can do it omega C1 to omega C2 of IT star minus IC d omega by integral apparent sunrise hour angle to apparent sunset hour angle of IT star d omega. The whole idea is there is no superscript plus sign over here. So, I can separate IT star and IC and do an integration, and IC being a constant, it is nothing but IC into omega C2 minus omega C1. Omega C1 and omega C2, which I shall call the critical hour angles, which may or may not be equal magnitude wise, depending upon whether it is south facing or non south facing collector, and pictorially if you have a, let us say, gamma not equal to 0, this is omega SR, this is omega SS, and this is my IC. So, this will be omega C1 and this will be omega C2. So, write down the equation for IT for the appropriate orientation, equate it to the number IC and solve for the omega, you will get two values which will be omega C1 and omega C2, right. So, in this zone is IT star always greater than IC by our definition, because IT star is the solar radiation on the average day of the month, okay, excluding those days with a clearness index lower than a KT minimum, for which there could be always IT is lower than IC. So, this can be analytically done when once you express IT star in terms of your RT and RD correlations. So, this IT star omega C1 equal to IT star omega C2 equal to IC. This gives omega C1 and omega C2. So, that can be expressed in terms of RT and RD correlation, there is no problem. So, now if the monthly average daily utilizability with which we have been discussing all the time, that multiplied by solar radiation falling on the collector surface, right. I have deliberately written in terms of the non-dimensional clearness index and the analytically calculable extraterrestrial radiation average multiplied by the number of days in the month multiplied by the average tilt factor R bar multiplied by utilizability is nothing but the solar radiation available above the critical level based upon the monthly average daily utilizability. That should be the same as, by a simple energy balance, phi EMD times KT bar star times NC, the number of days above the critical level, times H0 bar star R bar star. What we realized is the solar radiation available above the critical level, whether be it based upon the equivalent mean day of the average days with KT greater than KT minimum, or all the days with the monthly average daily utilizability phi bar with corresponding n, should be equal, because the other days are always less than the critical level and they do not contribute to any solar radiation falling on the collector surface above the critical level. So, from this you can solve phi bar is NC KT bar star R bar star upon N KT bar R bar into phi EMD. Of course, I have approximated H0 bar approximately equal to H0 bar star, because it is not necessary that these higher clearness index values are only towards the end or towards the beginning of the month, they are randomly distributed. Still the effective declination, mean declination will more or less be the same as that of the entire 31 array of the clearness indices. So, we can safely assume H0 bar equal to H0 bar star, even otherwise it is not a big issue to calculate these things, because it is a analytically calculable quantity. So, the sum and substance is the monthly average daily utilizability has been related to utilizability of a single day, and that single day being called the equivalent mean day, the properties of which are the clearness indices are always above the clearness index KT minimum and the average is KT bar star. So, that the question of IT minus IC being negative on any of these days does not arise. So, basically the analogy, if you call from your R bar or RB bar, there the averaging works. mainly because when you are calculating the tilted solar radiation, each day is contributing. So, taking a clue from that, we have found out the days that contribute to the solar radiation above the critical level and took the average of that, and it is predicts almost within 4% of root mean squared error compared to data or any other correlation that you can think of, either the Kleins or Koller-Espere Robles. And this has got the advantage of it may be a long expression, it can be analytically expressed with one integration. For certain two of the concentrating collector modes, it is not analytically integrable, but nevertheless even making hour by hour calculation for one day is far simpler than going for all the 30 days. So, this is we have a fairly general method to evaluate the monthly average daily utilizability. The whole idea is, assuming that this correlation is valid, rather the correlation may not know where from that number phi bar max is coming. It may be from a south facing surface or a non south facing surface. So, if you have a method to calculate the monthly average daily utilizability for concentrating collectors or non south facing flat plate collectors, perhaps the same correlation can be utilized using your phi bar max as the appropriate phi bar. So, f is phi bar max y minus 0.015 exponential 3.85 f minus 1 times 1 minus exponential minus 0.15 x dashed times R s to the power 0.76. We have done up to here, and we try to describe how to include the tank losses also in brief in the last class, but my whole idea is the philosophy behind this phi bar F chart method is to relate the temperature at which energy delivery is desired to the minimum temperature and a quantity called utilizability, which indicates the solar radiation available above the critical solar radiation available above a certain critical level. And this is the R s is the ratio of standard storage to actual storage. Standard storage is 350 kilojoules per degree C. This roughly corresponds to 75 liters of water. 75 liters multiplied by the Cp 4.18 comes to about 350. But in phi bar F chart method, instead of saying water or pebble bed etc., it is just given as the heat capacity value, and storage change can be taken care of. This is an implicit relation between F, so it occurs both sides. Y is the same as the F chart variable, x dash is slightly modified, that is in terms of that 100 minus Ti is removed, that is all, it is only 100. So, if you want to, this requires iterative calculation. A good guess first is slightly less than phi bar max y. This is calculable quantity. So, you know phi bar max, let us say it is 0.58, then I may guess F 1 as 0.55. Okay. Then you can set up a Newton-Raphson scheme or whatever, and you can easily interpolate or rather iterate in this relation to find the actual solar load fraction met. The only reason, once again I emphasize, the monthly average daily utilizability is phi bar corresponding to T minimum, we call phi bar max. That is all, nothing else. So, liquid based collectors in parallel, some of you may think of why no phi bar F chart for air based systems. So, this is I could not really find out any reason, but then somebody can work out if this is relevant for the applications like drying at a certain specified temperature of 50 degrees or 60 degrees C. And collectors are operating at constant IC. The average may be very much all right, and as I have said that IC may be changing from IC 1 to IC 2. Simply if the ambient temperature average is, let us say, 15 degrees C, you may have the minimum to be 12 and maximum to be 18. So, if you calculate the critical level between 12 and 18, there will be good variation. Consequently, my utilizability may be different on different days, at least as far as the ambient temperature is concerned. However, the differences when averaged, once again, one may be an underestimate and the other may be an overestimate. Consequently, my phi bar max corresponding to T A bar may be an acceptable number, but somebody can verify these things. And importantly, this is for no tank losses and infinitely long infinite heat exchanger. So, this is I think got a little more emphasis in the previous lecture as well as this lecture, whereas we underplayed this aspect in the case of F chart method. Tank losses are included in F chart correlation. In phi bar F chart, since I guess this is my logic, since T minimum can vary, we may have to take into account separately. In other words, F chart being applicable for energy delivery above 20 C, one can expect some sort of a uniform sort of proportionate losses, whereas if T minimum varies from 20 to 60 to 80 C, my tank losses could be quite significantly different. So, somebody has to do, I mean, you may have to include separately. Similarly, heat exchanger also, depending upon the temperature and the load condition, its effectiveness and its transfer capability may be varying. So, once again we include heat exchanger. Indeed, in the F chart method also, though losses in the pipes and tanks are not mentioned, heat exchanger size has been mentioned, and if the heat exchanger size is not the standard size, you correct the variable y as y c by y is some exponential function. So, that the heat exchanger is there in the F chart method also. In final, what we need to see is F chart and phi bar F chart. This is T minimum 20 degrees C, here specified T minimum. So, this has an additional parameter phi bar, this no phi bar. Storage, heat exchange, flow rate for air systems can be taken into account. By modifying x and y. Here storage can change, included in the factor R s. Tank losses and heat exchanger need separate characterizations. In both the cases, collectors are in parallel. Here also. Again F chart and your phi bar F chart. Now, gamma is equal to 0, gamma is equal to 0, since phi bar calculation is available for gamma is equal to 0. This is, can we extend for gamma not equal to 0? I just have to check up those parameters. You just see if gamma not equal to 0 is included or not. I have given a table of conditions for beta, phi, etc. So, gamma I just do not recall exactly it is 0 or said to be can be non-zero also. Here also we need, is it the limitation of calculating phi bar, or if phi bar for gamma not equal to 0 is available, can we use the same relation? Somebody may have to can take up this problem, though if I remember right, Collares, Pereira and Robel suggested that replace this phi bar with, for concentrating collector or gamma not equal to 0 value, to use the same correlation. However, some verification needs to be done based upon the simulation results. Of course, the question also comes in because this has been developed a few years back, nearly more than 2 decades back. So, computational power at that point of time is much higher much less, sorry, computation cost is much higher, computation power is limited. So, consequently, these design methods have had a good stake, and now if the computational power is lot of it is available and even cheaper. So, possibly one may go for simulations themselves instead of trying to find correlations. Nevertheless, the utility of the simplified methods, particularly in applying in the industry, is always necessary, and it is good. So, what we need to do, what we shall do in the next lecture is find a method and methodology to calculate, include the tank losses and the heat exchanger effect, and see how the solar load fraction in the FIBA F chart method varies. So, in a nutshell, this just the solar load fraction has been correlated to two parameters x and y in the case of F chart, where x is the non-dimensional collector loss and y is the non-dimensional absorbed energy. Similarly, in the case of FIBA F chart, F has been related to similar variables x dashed and y. An additional variable is the monthly average daily utilizability, which combines the operating temperature and the solar radiation statistic, and this relation is an implicit relation yet to include tank losses and heat exchanger. Thank you.